Did you talk to Carlos about yesterday's incident on the sideline or his social media post after the game? And if you did, can you give us maybe a little bit of what was discussed?
Yeah, we'll just keep those things internal right now.
What would you like to see from him going forward?
Well, from every player, we just want everyone who's invested and um, doing everything we ask of them.
Coach, quarterbacks got in a rhythm yesterday. As a play caller, it seemed like you got in a rhythm at the end of the last drive of the third quarter, the first two drives of the fourth quarter. You had a 34 play stretch, 226 yards, 15 first downs. Never got the third down. Everything was done on first and second down. That's pretty unusual stretch. Were you in a rhythm there as a play caller and execution?
It's not a rhythm on my part. It's a rhythm on the players' part. They've gotten this confidence now, and this has happened really in a couple games we played where it doesn't really matter what play call you give them; they're just going to make it work and come to life. And that's when you're doing good things on offense. Now we can't start patting ourselves on the back and think that this is easy, because it's not. It's those guys have really bought into what it looks like over the course of the week, and this really started after the Eagles game, and I know we had a letdown there a couple weeks ago, but just hammering how important it is, these details, and those guys have bought in and taken it to the next level, and they did a great job last week. Like you said, I didn't look at my third down sheet hardly ever, because several of them were short yardage on a free play one time, a couple quarterback sneaks, and some red zone calls, which again, it just didn't feel like I was ever looking at that third down section on my play sheet.
Zach, we've got a healthy list of injury options here. Pardon, not to be ironic there, but whenever you're ready, I'd like to just run down a few names. And you can
okay, yeah, go for it, Ben.
All right, let's go left to right on the line. Let's start with Jonah Williams.
Yeah, Jonah. I think Jonah's going to be day to day. It was scary there during the game, but things are starting to look up. And so he'll be day to day, and we'll just continue to gather more information to see how he feels, starting with tomorrow.
All right, Trey Hopkins.
He's in concussion protocol, and it's all about how guys can respond, and so again, we'll know more on him probably on Wednesday.
A curveball here for you, Xavier Su'a-Filo.
Xavier, the plan is to get to the bye and then observe where we're at. He's on pace. That's kind of what we laid out for him. And again, I don't want to make any predictions that he's ready after the bye, but I think it's going to be around that time frame.
All right, at right tackle, we have Bobby Hart.
Yeah, Bobby's going to be out. And he'll be out for this game. I don't want to make any predictions for how long that'll be, but he won't be able to go this Sunday against Tennessee.
All right, and we got Trey Waynes at the corner.
No update on Trey Waynes right now.
Okay, and then Joe Mixon.
Joe will be day to day. I think obviously he missed last game, and we'll see where he responds on Wednesday. But again, it's have dodged some bullets. You don't want to make any predictions going forward, but some injuries aren't always as serious as you think they are initially.
What was Bobby Hart's injury? I don't think that was declared yesterday.
Yeah, Bobby, it's his shoulder. Bobby's knee. I'm sorry, Bobby hurt his knee. So they're on that third to last play of the game.
Coach, you have to be pleased with the offense and the players understanding now that, like a good point guard, Joe Burrow is just going to find the open guy, and that could be anybody in any game, and it's showing itself now. It
is. You got to start with the protection, first of all. Those guys up front did a really, really good job. And that's with the running backs and the tight ends as well. And then, yes, Joe plays a major part in this. Joe kind of brings this whole thing to life. But the detail at the receivers right now was really good. And the tight end, Drew Sample, did a great job as well. He got us a lot of yards after the catch where we're in some second longer situations and he gets his first down. So, again, it's fun to watch those guys find their rhythm and be detailed and dialed in and playing as an all-11 group there. That was really good to see yesterday.
Back to the injury second, Coach. With the bye week coming up after the Tennessee game, does that play a factor in any of it, or it wouldn't matter at all if you had a bye even?
Yeah, no, I don't. We want to go win, and if guys are healthy enough to play without compromising their future, then you weigh that into the decision, to see if they can get out there. But again, we approach it with what's best for this Sunday.
Zach, are you still confident in Lou and what he's doing with the defense?
Yeah, I am. It's just there's a couple plays that we leave on the field there where the game should end, and and it can come in the third quarter, just getting off the field. We got to stop third and short, whatever it was. We got to stop. We just lined up in the neutral zone. It's as simple as that. That could have been the turning point in the game right there with the way our offense was playing to go take a 2-score lead and then put the thing to bed. We had a sack opportunity, the first play of the drive that they won the game on. Let's just finish that play. And now they got receivers down the field and, they're going to clock the ball with probably 25 seconds left and be in a really tough situation there on a negative, on a second long situation. So, again, it's everything. We always got to evaluate our scheme and make sure we're putting our guys in the best positions. This guy's stepping up and making plays when your number's called. And too many times they made those plays and we didn't. But what you don't see on that tape is a lack of effort by anybody. And when things are going the way they are, you're giving up points on a lot of those drives there. That's an easy thing to find, I think, in some cases. And it wasn't an easy thing our guys are bought in. They're doing the right thing. It's just more step away in some instances. And, it's again, keep hammering those little details with these guys. And there's a couple things that we can fix even before the snap. They're going to make us a better football team.
How can you get more pressure? I mean, you got the guys you have right now. You're not getting back there enough. How is that something you have to scheme up? Do you have to be more aggressive in blitz? How do you go about attacking that issue?
It's both. You got to be smart with it all, and again, you can bring pressure and thin out the back end and put yourself. It's not just the pressure. It's even when you bring a 5-man pressure, all 5 guys got to help win their one-on-ones, up front there. And sometimes it's a 4-man pressure, and sometimes it's different looks we can bring. But it's certainly, we're trying to put the guys in the best position to go make the plays. And again, we just haven't quite got it done yet.
Zach, I know we talked about this a little bit. Is there a difference between, I know Geno and Carlos played the same number of snaps, but are both circumstances the same, or are those different?
Every situation with every single player is different.
Well, to be more specific, I mean, is Geno's limited snap count more just because he's coming back from the injury and you want him to be effective when he's in the game? I mean, is it as simple as that?
It is as simple as that, and again, it's, I know that's where he feels comfortable right now. And again, just getting him those limited snaps, it could increase on a weekly basis. The conversations I've had with Geno are outstanding. Geno is he's a class act here. And again, he's working his way back. It's his 3rd week now. He's getting those snaps on known passing situations. But again, we'll keep moving him along as we see fit. But again, Geno and I have had some really good conversations. He's a class act.
There's word out there that Spain, the offensive lineman from Buffalo, the guard from Buffalo, is visiting or has visited. Is there any truth to that?
We're evaluating all those options there, and we'll see where the week goes with Quentin.
Zach, when you have a guy, just one guy that's kind of speaking out on social media about frustration with the team and the coaching staff, on the flip side of that, yesterday when we talked to the rest of the guys here on Zoom, they praised your vision and talked about how much they still believe in you and kind of flipping the narrative from what we've seen from one player. Does that mean something to you that guys believe in you even through, this stretch of losing right now?
They're just a belief in the team, and it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the belief that the staff is instilling in the players, and the players are bought in and they see it, and it is hard, I'm sure, for the general public to see it when you're not putting wins on the paper, because that is important. We got to win football games. But when you got players who've played football their entire life that know we are inches away from turning a corner here. And sometimes you got to get that first win so it can pile on from there. But it truly is an amazing locker room. And when I say I'm proud to coach these guys every day I walk in there, I mean it, because not many guys would stick through this kind of adversity and stick together and continue to fight the way they have. And they're doing it because they believe in the way that we're doing it. They believe in each other. And they also know how close we are, and that at any given moment, we're going to create that opportunity for ourselves that gets us that win. And we're just going to build on it from there.
Coach, what's different with AJ Green over the past couple of weeks?
Nothing. That's it's one of the. Yeah, it's a good question, James. I get where it's coming from, but for us, it's nothing. It's some of those games where he wasn't getting targets and getting those opportunities was really just the way that the coverage was falling, or other guys, were there in the progression, to where that never really affected us. And I know it's frustrating at times for receivers in general, not just AJ, when you're not targeted, it gets frustrating when you go a whole half or a whole game and the ball's not coming your way and you're running. But again, we knew, hey, just hang in there. It can be any receiver in any game can have those 10 catches for 100 yards. And I think it's come true for him those last 2 weeks. And again, he's tremendous to talk. I mean, you guys know AJ better than I do even. And when you talk to him, you just got such a belief in him that he's going to make plays for you and be there when it matters. And that's what he's done for us.
What's different about the offense when Bernard is starting at running back, and what have you seen from him? What have you thought of this season as a whole?
Well, Gio's one of the leaders on this team. He leads by example every day he walks in this building. One of the things you look for is a guy that's consistent every single day. You know what you're going to get when you're trying to coach a guy, and that's Gio Bernard in a nutshell. And for Gio, he usually doesn't get a ton of carries because those go to Joe. But the underappreciated thing about Gio is his pass protection is tremendous. His football IQ, to know where it's coming from and to be able to check his responsibilities, block guys that are 2-3 times his size, be able to help on guys like Myles Garrett, just track those guys and take the edge off to help those linemen. In the screen game, he was outstanding yesterday, finding what was there on some of those specials and screens. And Gio's he's just such a reliable guy. So it's not surprising when he makes the most of the opportunities he gets because he's always ready. And, just going one step further, Samaje, some of those pass protections by Samaje yesterday are just phenomenal. So I think Jamal Singleton does an outstanding job with that running back room. Some guys you don't get to see a lot on tape, but when they show up, they make the most of their opportunities because that's just a really good room. They're well coached, they buy in, and they do things the right way.
When you find guys that are open against the defense, against the linebackers, back end, whatever, in pass coverage, and I know the best pass defense is a pass rush. That's already been addressed. But when there are guys that are so open, is it a technique error, an assignment error, combination of both?
It can be a little bit of everything, and sometimes those routes you don't want them to develop as long as they develop, where some of those openings come when you're playing zone coverage, and other times it is just it might be a pre-snap alignment. It might be a pre-snap being set, being ready to go, being ready to cover your man. Because there were some opportunities where maybe they should have been sacks or throwaways where they turned into big gains, 20, 30-yard explosive gains where it's just a matter of, hey, let's get our feet set, get our eyes in the backfield, and get ready to go.
Some more minutes, Coach.
Zach, there's a chance that you could be without 4 of your five starting offensive linemen that you started week 1 with. Yeah. I mean, are there things schematically that you can do to help Joe when you have those kind of situations to make things maybe a little bit easier for him? Yeah, and I think we believe in everybody we walk out on that field, and we yesterday those linemen kept dropping, and you hate it for them because those guys were working their tails off, and then they get hurt. But we had confidence the guys we put right in there didn't miss a beat. We didn't change one play call because of the 3 guys that we had in there. I can promise you that. And so again, those guys they've been here. They've been getting a ton of reps. You talk about Akeem, you talk about Billy, you talk about Fred. Those guys have gotten a ton of reps, and so they're ready when their number was called, and we've got confidence in those guys.
Coach, when you have a player like Carlos who has spoken out on social media and done some of those things, how much of that is you as a coach and the coaching staff handling it, and how much of that is the front office talking to you or vice versa in communication just throughout the organization about a specific player?
Yeah, we have tremendous communication every single day with personnel department, with ownership, and so we're always on the same page.
Zac, you've been a part of a staff in Miami that made big changes. I mean, you took over down there mid-season before. When stuff like that happens, what does that do to a team, to players? Are there actual benefits of coaching staff changes mid-season, or is it pretty much, through your eyes when you went through it, one of the hardest things to try to acclimate to a new, leader in a room?
I think every situation is different, and it's hard to compare situations. I believe in our staff. And again, we're a play away from winning a game and gaining that momentum, a stop away. Some of them are self-inflicted. But again, it takes everybody. It takes this whole coaching staff and every player and all 3 phases to take the pressure off each other. So every situation is different, and I've got confidence in the staff.
One more question.
Do you get the sense that this is eating at Lou? Is he a pretty even keel guy, or is this something that is really hard for him to deal with, knowing that you guys are as close as you are? And
it's hard for everybody. When you watch the tape, it's hard because we're right there. And right there is not always good enough in any phase. We deal with that on offense, all the time. And again, it takes everybody just sticking together. That's been the message, and that's going to continue to be the message.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time.